Okay, once you got just a really rough idea of how different parts of computer works, let's go to the core. The bartender, the pub landlord, or just the central processing unit. And the name actually, you know, already explained for themselves is that it's the central, it's the hub, it's where everything got done. So if you like buy certain computer for your game or for your like developing career, need to check the CPU. Really, really important. But if you like more about the machine learning, deep learning, like generating, rendering, something like that, you're more worried about a GPU. But a decent CPU have to, at least make it decent level in order to make it everything run smoothly, because that's normally everything goes down. And if you got like a programming, normally I recommend a high spec, more focused on CPU rather than GPU, unless you specifically focus on machine learning stuff. Because still, I believe the app development still really heavily depend on CPU. So let's talk a little bit about it, okay? Because that's the essential hub of everything. So basically, the computer is a really simple machine. It's just a really complex calculator. And the heart of every calculation, we call that CPU, is short for Central Processing Unit. So basically, it's a unit, Central Processing. Okay? The name already explained for itself. So it's essentially CPU, just a calculation machine, like a calculator. If you like take out the like old school classic calculator, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, all that. Basically, the CPU does the same thing, okay? But it doing really really fast, okay? And let's dive a little bit deeper, okay? Basically, the CPU is something like this, okay? Just imagine this is like a CPU, okay? And CPU stores numbers, okay? And the stored numbers, CPU is not like just one block, but rather a lot of tiny blocks. So basically, you want to store that in these tiny little blocks, right? Tiny little blocks, okay? And we call that tiny little unit registers, okay? So, registers. And this so-called register is not just the information does not like just go to the register for no reason at all. You need to read from a certain place to get information and then register there. So the name actually tell the story of its own. You need like register the number, okay? So basically, CPU reads a certain place, get that number into the register, and then doing the math calculation. So basically, it's like we get like math calculation unit here, okay, doing all this math. So basically, the CPU actually reads data. The data does not like come from like out from thin air, but rather come from somewhere, and either from like the user's inputs or through the internet, some JSON files and all that. Doesn't really matter, because the CPU does not care about where will the data come from, but just to read from memory. So the memory is random access memory, RAM. So basically, CPU reads the number because everything is like a digital, it's a number. So wherever they come from, you got RAM because that's the like current task stored in the RAM. Okay, it's random access, but you still need the calculation. The CPU actually reads something, get something from the RAM, get a number into the register, and doing all this math calculation. As simple as that. Just they're doing like multi-threading and really fast, so you can achieve amazing things. And you know what? Why the CPU like finish with the calculation, and also it's not just to read data from RAM. It's not like just data flow into here and into the register doing calculations, but also the CPU can actually write information to the RAM. Okay, so basically like write it back. Okay, for example, there's like a data here. You actually like transfer the data, right? Like actually write the number stored in the register, go all the way back to RAM, and you know what? Just to store in the RAM, because if you like browsing the internet and or try to buy a specific spec for a computer, you can actually check the RAM. Okay, and here's another thing about like choosing the correct. There's like no correct, but more suitable coding computer. If you like going the iOS development, there's like they have to choose Apple's products. And the funny thing about Apple's products is that the RAM, if you want to increase the RAM, is really expensive, really expensive. And I'm actually recording this using an iMac, and like older versions of iMac actually like get you some like a socket that you can like open it. I do it myself. I open it and actually add a lot of RAMs. Okay, so it's like a menu upgrade, and you can like buy RAM from a third party like Samsung, something like that. You put it inside, it's a fairly cheap RAM than just buy some MacBook Pro and like got like really high spec RAM. It's really expensive, really expensive. And for a coding computer, in order to compile and do the complex, like open Chrome, open the Android Studio. You know what? Android Studio is like a huge consumer of RAM. You may probably need right now, as I'm recording this video, 24 gigabytes of RAM in order for it to get a decent run smoothly without any glitches. But yeah, that's really expensive. But for Xcode, I'm right now like using 48 gigabytes of RAM. Let me show you. So about this Mac, yeah, more info. So okay, let me show you. So memory, yeah, here. So let me show you. So it's the iMac. Like using the by the way, I also go the way with the name William Jermaine, my YouTube name. Okay, this processor is a CPU that we just talked about, and graphics is like a graphic card, and also right now is what is hot like computer AI training is like GPU. But we talk about RAM is the memory. Okay. It's not the memory of the whole computer. That will be the storage. Okay, memory here will be like 48 gigabytes. It's already pretty decent. Unless you are doing like a really great simulation, it's already enough. But 24 is already pretty good. Okay, I bought this like many years ago. It's i9, but I believe it's a little bit outdated CPU. But Apple actually like recently using their own CPU. So yeah, like M series. Okay, it's really powerful, and you can run things really smoothly without the fan going crazy. Okay, and CPU is really hot. You can actually boiling egg on it. There's some like funny videos about it, but that's for not for this bootcamp. Okay. So we talk about RAM, we talk about CPU, mask, register, and you might wondering what the heck is going on here. Why we have to learn this? Because this is like a fundamental low-level stuff. And if you're doing like optimization, you have to know what's going on. And also, you might like in your career, in some point, you might start wondering, how can I control this machine? Okay, you want to get the 100% control. So that's the reason when you start, you may start with the language like Python, something like that, and then you go deeper. Okay, you want to get a fully control. You want to like control every part, and then go all the way down and say, oh, that's how computer works. That's how it's like initially designed and controlled. So at some point in your career, you will have this idea of how the machine actually works and how to control it, and how your code is actually translate into the machine code, machine language, so they can understand you, they can control it. And right now, the code that we're writing is like a Swift. It's fairly high level code. So basically, it's not about like this little calculation, like register, mask, and all that calculation. It's not about that. It's more about a series of instructions, hundreds of thousands of instructions, while you write just a single line of code, and then just compile that into the machine instructions, and then this instruction will be transferred to the CPU, and they will work in coordination and doing this math and doing this task for you. Okay? And I just talk about, sort of translates the Swift, the really high level code that we write, into some of the instructions that's just really low level. This kind of translation is called compiling. So I will mention this a lot, especially if you're like run some certain code, you won't like build and won't compile. That's because it did not successfully translate into the low level code. Okay, the low level instructions, because there are some like mistake in the logic or like in the memory or something like that. Yeah, there were hundreds of thousands of bugs. As I said, it's a really complex process, and but it's good to know how you like coming from high level, and all this thing got translated, got compiled to the instructions, and actually get carried out. So it's just a really rough, really rough and really quick. Oh my gosh, I just used like 10 or 20 minutes to explain like the code as well as the lower level things. So yeah, so it's really rough. It's not 100% like a really accurate description, but I just want to just give you a really rough sketch of how things are done in high level as well in the lower level. So in next video, we're going to actually write our own CPU or little calculator, little computer, if you will, and I already write it out for you. And mainly at this stage, I want you to quickly test it. Okay, just give you a feel for what it's look like. And we're going to look back on this code while in really later sections of the Swift sections. So we will come back to the code unless you really want to dive into the codes. I recommend at this stage, don't try to write code like this. Okay, it involves a lot of high level stuff. But I will provide this code at the end of the section, so you can like download it to actually run this. But the core things here to actually run this, and just to give you a feel of how the whole process works live. Okay, so let's get started.